Okay, in today's class, today is Sunday and 27 April 2025. On this 27 April 2025, Sunday, as per my promise, I have promised that I will conduct coding classes every week, 3 days of a thrice of a week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I have promised accordingly. Today is mm, Sunday. So under my Lakshmi Narayan Krishna Foundation, today Sunday, I am conducting these classes over Python, a simple project which is GUI calculator, GUI based calculator, Windows calculator. Simply Windows calculator means whenever this code, this much of code, whenever it is executed, so one GUI, graphical user interface window will be displayed in front of you, and that calculator will be used for addition, plus and subtraction, minus, multiplication, means asterisk, star symbol, division, forward slash. So this calculator can be used for different mathematical operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. So this type of colorful environment is called graphical user interface. In those earlier days, only character user interface. That moment, no any windows like this type of windows. This is what close button, minimize button. So if you want to enter any text, like whatever the text you enter, so that will be displayed here. Okay, that is the code we have written. So now let us try to understand. So the total code from the starting, I told you that in the previous class, okay? In the previous class, I told that from the starting, from here, from starting, this is the first line of code. That is what I told you, that import, we need to import a tkinter module. It is also called library. It has many classes. And that module will be called as with alias name TK, so that in further I can call that TK dot. Okay, TK dot end, so that I can means what TK dot end means I don't want to call tkinter again and again. Only I will call TK. So next one function created with the def keyword, function name is equal to click. So whenever we click on any button, so run this, okay. Come to here, run. Whenever you run, so whenever you run that application, what is your application? That is what your uh, calculator application that will be run, okay. So where is that? This is the main application window. Uh, okay. So in the previous day, I have tried to brief. So what happened here? This is not being this is not being resizable. This is not being resizable. What is the reason? Because in the code I have written, in the code, this is false and false. So whenever I have written root dot resizable, root is what I told you, that root means what root means the main application window. This is this code initializes the main application window, main window. Initialize means start. It will start the main application window. So that will be called with a name root, means somewhat a variable. Okay. So in further, if I want to use any application window, means this class methods or functions. Okay, if I want to use any attributes of this class, so I can call them with the help of this root dot. title, simple GUI calculator. I told you that geometry, this is what, size, pixels of the screen. So background color, orange, resizable, false means that can't be resizable. Okay, if you want to resize, no. So if I change this as true, okay, true, that is width is equal to true and height is equal to true. Okay. So now whenever you run the code, so you can resize the window. You can fetch, you can extend, you can fetch this size of the window. Okay. So next, and I told you that this is what the code copied and pasted. So two windows will be the code generated up to here one window. Root is equal tk.tk means one window will be created. Again, root is equal tk.tk means one more window will be created. So in the last session, I told you that, okay. So suppose if you close this one, if you close this one and you go and run, either you can run shift plus F10, otherwise control U. If you control U, so code will be executed. Otherwise, click on this run button. So see here, how many windows are here? Two windows are here. How many windows? Two windows. So one is this window and one is this one. So if you remove this code, okay, from here to here, delete. So now only one window will be created. So I told you that how to create a main window. This up to from here to here, this is the code written for this main window. This main window, okay? So next, I told you I have briefed all these root dot title, geometry. These are functions of main application window. This class, the class is part of your tkinter module. Next, entry field. This is called entry field. This entry field, this entry field, it will be used to store the wherever you click on the button that will be stored, that will be displayed here, entry field. So entry field, it is a widget. I told you that. What is widget? Widget means control. Otherwise, element also. So all these buttons, entry field, input box, output box, combo box, list box, radio button, frame, label, all are called widgets. So that's why here code written C. I told you that widget. Widget means every button, every input box, every list box, every text box, combo box, radio, all are widgets. So widget dot C get. I told you that. Okay. C means character get. So whenever I click on any button, so this function will be run. That moment one event object will be passed to this function. That event has the information of where did you click, on which button you have clicked, other what information captured. Okay, that event object. I told you that all I have briefed up to where up to here, even though this also I have briefed tk.entry. Entry means this entry widget is part of tkinter interface, tkinter module. And why do I need to keep root means this entry fee, entry widget is part of your main application window. Our main application window is called as root every time. So every widget is part of root, main application window. And font size, what size we need to what size and how many pixels, okay, and style of the font. Now then, if you want to keep this entry field, you want to place this entry field over this application window pack. That is very important. I told you that entry dot pack. I told you that entry dot pack. Entry dot pack. If you keep dot operator here, you will get list of all these M means method, F means function, C for class, C, C for class, C for class, okay? And see all these are the methods, F for function, C for class. Any class is here? Let us see. Any C. If any C is there, that class is there, okay? Okay, so I need here what? To pack. Pack means I want to place that entry field. So simply you keep P. So you will get pack, place. All the they will be alphabetical order. Pack, place. Okay, propagate. So pack. So pack, fill. I told you that TK dot both means from to fill with both horizontal and vertical, okay, somewhat internal padding means inside of the so internal padding inside of the entry field, okay, and y outside horizontally and vertically. So here inside of this padding, I means inside of padding. So if you see what happened, if I want to decrease this one, what happens? See, 2 I have given. So that moment, if you run this code again, you come and run this code. So see what happened here. So this is what inside of padding. Outside of padding, how much I have given. I want to this one also 2. So now run this code again. What happens? See here. So see what happened. That padding means outside line. Outside line, it is not, it is, it is looking somewhat less. Okay. If I have increased this one to that padding 15, and this is also 15. That moment, try to understand what happened here. See, that moment, see what happened here. This border outside, okay, that is increased. That is called padding, outside padding inside. If you increase some more like 25, then what happened? You come again, you run this. So now see what happened. This outside padding, okay, that is increased. Okay. If it is internal padding, suppose if it is 0, so that moment what happened? So like this, you can understand this, okay? Padding is very important. Pack is without the pack, suppose if you remove this pack, okay, just entry. So that moment, what happened if you run that that entry field will not be placed. You will get like what you know. So your code, how the code is being run, whether it is being run or not. Any Indo? Any window is there? There is no any window. Window is not being. So that moment window is not displaying. Okay, application windows. So pack. Pack means that the entry field. So now come here and run this code again. Now you are able to see this application window. Understood? It is resizable. It is why? Because I have kept the values, Boolean values for width and height, true and true. So I can resize height. Height can be resizable. Height can be decreasable. Okay. And width can be decreasable. Like this. Okay. So next, we will try to another code. We will go for next. So next is what? So here, somewhat I need to explain here, where I told you that this is the widget means control of whom? This control widget, this is what? Part of your widget means control. Every button, every input field, entry field, they are called widgets. That widget, wherever you click on, that moment what happens? One action triggered. Action is button click. So whenever you click on over a button, one action triggered. So that moment what happens? One event will be created that is called mouse click event. So one object automatically created and passed to this function, click function name. And that object, they that object has the information of on which button clicked, what that button has, which type of information, like that information will be carried by that object. Okay. So cget means character get. Evaluation X, this is a function which will evaluate whatever the expression you place here, that will be evaluated by this function. Okay. Entry dot get, this get function will collect the characters here. Okay. And by this evaluate function, that total expression will be evaluated and it will be stored in this result variable. Okay, then after previous value will be deleted. Okay, from zero index to end index, and then the value of that expression will be inserted at the end of the character. That will be taken from result. Result is a variable which will be having the value after evaluation of expression that will be stored in the result variable. That result will be inserted here. So I told you that everything, try block, except block, what happened whenever you click on C clear. Okay. Whenever you click on the C button, or wherever C button is here, na? Whenever C button. So that moment, what happens? The text will be cleared. Okay. In the input entry field. So that's a code entry dot delete. So whenever you click on C button, the text will be deleted. Okay, in entry field from 0 character to end character. Okay, like this I have briefed. Next, I want to come to where. So as one more time, I want to explain here. Manas, who is this girl? Manasa, do you want to question anything from your side? Do you want to know any question? Since you are attending 2 days of classes, I am explaining each and every line. First of all, import tkinter as tk. This line of code means we are importing the tkinter library. It is a Python's library for geo applications. It is also called module also, and we have given a short name to this tkinter as tk. So we can write tk dot entry, okay, tk dot button instead of calling again and again tkinter, okay. Next, for this line of code, we have defined a function named click. And event is an object that is passed to this function whenever we click on any button. Okay. Now this function will run. This function will run whenever you click on a button. This function, every time this function will run whenever you click on every button. Okay. Whenever you click a button, because this function is binded. Binded it where I will explain now. The function is whenever you click on that function will be bind. It is bound to this is click. Click is what? This click is a function name. Okay. And button -1 means left button. Now every button is bind for left mouse button, and that click function will be called. Okay. Next. Okay. Now come to the next. Event dot. Where is that? Event dot widget. Widget means a button, means any widget. So event dot widget is what? It is the button that was clicked. Okay. And C get means it collects the text. Why we are here if I am clicking, I am not getting any. Whenever I am clicking over the button, I am not getting any character here. Why? Because the reason here text. So here I need to change it as in the previous class. For your understanding, I have changed that as per your whatever you. If I have kept Vasu there, here also I need to change this. So that's why I'm not getting. That is what. Okay. Now run. So here, see what happened here. Wherever you click on, you are getting here. Okay. Whatever you are clicking, you are getting. So widget, event dot widget is what? It is a button. Okay, that was clicked. So dot C get what you know? Dot C get text means it will collect the text. Whatever you click on button, that will collect the text. Okay, that is what I told you in the previous class also. So CGet gets the text written on that button. So this CGet text, it will collects the text written on that button like 1, plus, minus, etc. So now that is stored in a variable called text. It is a variable. Okay, text. Next, if text equal to is if the clicked button is equal to if you click on here, that will be displayed here. Suppose if you click on is equal to, your click is over is equal to, it is also button. Now why? Because once every clear, now whatever you have clicked, that is displayed here, and it is expression. Whenever you click on is equal means what? You want to evaluate that expression. So is equal, y is equal, you want to calculate that value of that expression. So that moment what? This code written inside of try block will be executed. So in the try block, entry dot get means the current text in the entry field. Entry dot get means the current text in the entry field. This is the current text in the entry field. Okay, this is the expression, and that will be evaluated by this function. This function evaluates whatever the expression in the entry field. Okay, now that next what happened, that will be stored in this result variable. Okay, next what happened, now this entry dot delete, this function deletes the this expression. Okay, whenever you click on this, that expression will be deleted and inserted the value. Okay. Now you click on this. So this is the value inserted at tk dot end at last character. So that result is stored in result variable. So that result variable we have mentioned. So that value stored in this result variable that will be displayed. Okay. Next, except blank. Entry dot delete means 0. Means what? So if try block code written in try block, if user clicks like plus plus error. Okay. So error. So user input is not well. He is not feeding he is feeding the wrong input. So that moment inside of these two lines of code, by that previous value will be deleted from 0 character to end character and insert this error message at the end. At where? At end character, at end index. Okay. So if any error happens, means wrong input by user, it will clears the entry field and shows the error. Okay. Elif text is equal to C. If user clicks over C character, what happens? It clears. C means clears the total value in the entry field. Why? Because we have written in delete. It deletes the value inside of the entry field. Okay. So it deletes everything from the entry field. Now, else entry dot insert this code. What do you mean of this code? Entry dot insert. So for other buttons, so other buttons are what? Like numbers, plus, minus, etc. So other buttons are what? These are plus, minus. Okay. Multiplication symbol. This is what your forward slash, this dot. These other buttons also, if insert. So whenever you click on them, you will get they will be displayed inside. They will be inserted. Where tk dot end means at the end of this last, at index last, at end of all the characters. Otherwise, at last index, tk dot end. Otherwise, if you keep here 0, what happened here? If you keep 0 here, what happened? So the character will be inserted at the 0 index. Okay, if you run this code, you go and run. Here, what happened? See, plus plus. Okay, evaluate error. Then after you are pressing for this one. The plus is entered where? At 0 index. So it is wrong, no? So it has to be put where? End of this last character, tk dot end, I mean at last index, at last, what is the last character? R. Then after, whatever you want to click, if you click anywhere, that is to be placed 8. where it is being placed in front of this error. No, it is wrong. No? So we need to write the code here. Here delete means from zero character, zero index to at last index. Here insert means at tk dot index, tk dot end. This is okay. Now you run this code. See, so resizable, it is resizable because the Boolean values, I have placed the Boolean values as the Boolean values. What I have kept the Boolean values? Boolean values as true or true. The Boolean values are true or true. So it is resizable. And okay, now what happened? So plus plus is equal error. Then after, if you want to click anyone, that will be placed at the end of the character. Okay, like that. So that's why TK dot end. You need to insert Y entry means these all values, they will be inserted in the entry field. This is entry field widget. This is entry field widget. So that entry field has some other functions, insert, delete, okay, like what. So now come to the, this is the total code from here to here, here to for the application window. For the application window, see what happened. If you don't want to write this code, if you comment this code, so total your application window will not be initialized. Application window will not be started. Okay, you close this one and you run the code again. Run. So you will not get any application window. Your application window will not be displayed because this TK class, which is part of your module, tkinter module, that is called shortly as TK. Now the TK class, so the total, this tk.tk, this line of code is used to initialize, to start the application window. Now that is called root. In further, root will be used all that these functions of the TK class, they will be called with the help of root. So you have commented here. You remove that one. So generally, whenever you comment here, it will underline all that. Means if you keep the mouse here, your class will be closed in 10 minutes. No, don't worry. Within this, I want to explain the remaining. Okay, so whenever you keep the unresolved reference root, the root is what it is not being resolved. We need to resolve. So root, it is to be defined first. Okay, then there is no any. So like that. So entry field, I told you that entry is equal, it is a variable. Okay, leave it that. Okay. TK dot entry. Entry is a widget. Where is that? Um, You keep here and you run this code. So here, see. Okay. So now what happened? Entry. TK dot entry. This is called entry field. So it is a widget control. I have placed this control on this frame, one frame, okay? And over that, I have set up all that buttons, okay? So to create this entry field, if I don't want to keep this line of code, what happens? See here, and this entry field, this will be disappeared. You run this code again, okay? You remove this one. You keep this total code from here to here. Up to this is called triple quotes to keep multiple lines commenting. In Python, if you want to keep multiple lines, 2 lines, 7 lines, 10 lines, 100 lines, even the code, keep triple quotes in front of that and end it triple quote. So that line of code, total multiple line of code will be commented. So now if you run this code, what happened? You are getting the what? Your application window started, but not with entry field. So whenever you click on the button, so the text, whatever the text on that button, where it is to be displayed, you should have the somewhat text box, no? So that wherever you click on, that is to be displayed somewhere else. But there is no any entry field, means there is no any input box. Otherwise, that is the text box. Here, entry field, we are stating that we are mentioning, I have mentioned that as the entry field. So wherever I am clicking, I am not getting. So I need to keep a entry field. Remove this one. And you remove the end last triple quotes also. Okay. Entry field button underscore frame. So a little bit of code changed here. Now I want to go for, so where now see. So entry is equal tk dot entry, that is okay. Packed means it is placed up to here. Okay. Now button underscore frame is equal to, so remove this code. Okay. Button underscore frame. So that is a variable. Okay. I need to create a frame first. That frame is part of what? What frame? This is total one frame. Over the frame, the buttons are placed. Okay. So button underscore frame, that is a variable. It is whatever the variable you want to create. But the frame I want to place. This is a frame. So how can I place the frame? Frame is tk dot frame. Okay, this is the frame. Okay, take that frame. A frame is part of your root, your application window. Application window is called root. Okay. Now, what happened? That frame will be kept. If you want to keep the frame, so this total code is kept in a variable button underscore frame. So why I have kept a suitable name for that frame. That over that frame, all the buttons layout, all the buttons are laid out over the frame. So that variable name button underscore frame. Okay, now I want to keep the button underscore frame that pack. If I remove this pack function, so this frame will not be placed over this, okay, application window. So that is the right thing I have done here. So you run this code again successfully. Your that is what you will get the, that is entry field. Wherever you click, so all that will be minus 25 is equal 28. Okay. Now, so let us try to understand layout of the buttons. So this code written for this code, this is the layout. Okay. This is a list. Okay. The list name is equal to buttons. So every list has subset. How many subsets? This is one subset, second subset, third subset, fourth, fifth. So this is the level. So this is the total list. Every list has subsets. Okay. So every row is called a subset. So first here, see every row from here to here. This is what subset, sublist. Sublist means in Python, square brackets will be used for list. Okay. So this list, main list has every row is a sublist. Okay. Next what? So I have defined the button layout row by row. I have defined the button layout, define the 7, 8, 9 forward slash. One row, 4, 5, 6. So every character separated by comma and put in square brackets. It is a one more list. But whenever this list is placed inside of list, this is called sub list. So every character that is to be kept in double quotation or single quotation marks and separated by comma, comma, comma. Okay. Now every sublist must be separated by comma. Next, another sublist. 4, 5, 6 star. Star for multiplication. It is called asterisk. Third sublist. Third sublist is 1, 2, 3 minus comma. And last row 0 dot is equal to every character must be enclosed, kept in single quotation or double quotation marks, and every character must be separated with comma, and every sublist must be separated with comma. And finally C. Okay. C is for clear, to clear the display. And then last it is started with list is started with square bracket, end bracket. So this is the button layout. Okay. So next is what see here what happened. So for loop used here. Okay. Generally this is what row means. It is what one variable. Okay. Generally we write for I index variable, that is called, but here you can keep anything in place of I in buttons. Okay. Buttons is what? My list name. Buttons is what? My list name. Why it is list? Because I have used the square brackets.